Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. Right before I logged on, I hit my ankles so hard against my bed frame. I went like down. I was like, to the ground. Okay, let me get live on Instagram. Let me get that going. Okay. How are you guys? I missed you guys. Just 1 week gone. It felt like ages and ages. If you are watching on YouTube, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps things, I'm told. Hello to the live chats. I've already got some people in here. Hi, Max. Hi, Butterfly. Emma. Hi, girl. Elizabeth, Max, Amit. Hi, you guys. Let's say hi over on Instagram. See if everyone. Hi, Coco. Secret Agent 922. Hi. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I know that today is supposed to be Traitors and Drag Race, but there's so much Traitors to talk about. So I felt in my soul that the best course of action would be to just cover Traitors. And then next week I'll cover all of Drag Race that I have missed. I also think next week I'm debating, I want to do 2 shows. I want to recap 2 shows on Saturdays. So now that Traitors is over, I'm thinking of hate recapping Jersey Shore Family Vacation. Because I have such issues with that show. But it could be fun to hate recap. I want to keep it non-Bravo. So if you have any requests, I have to obviously watch it myself or want to watch it. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Yes, yay. Okay, yes, yay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, then maybe I'll do that. But okay, let's get down to fucking business. Okay, let's talk about this Traitors situation, because I actually have been out since I have not covered the episode where MJ reveals if she voted for Peter or Phaedra, and I stupidly predicted that MJ might vote for Phaedra, but she voted for Peter. However, it was the writing's going to be on the wall for Phaedra at that point, and it was. And part of me wonders if Phaedra gave up, because at breakfast, when she still doesn't talk strategy and throw names out there when CT asks, I'm like, I feel like maybe she's like, I can only go so far. And as she says on the reunion, she didn't want to throw Kate out there and get Kate, figured out so that she could win. And she also didn't want to do fake it that Sandra was a traitor. And I think that that's admirable. I think that is quite admirable, Phaedra. And so I'll go through some of the main points from the episode because there were funny points. But what we've learned from the reunion is that there are cultural differences between gamers and non-gamers. And the gamers are over there saying, we don't take things personal. It's just a game. So I'm a challenge girly. I love the challenge, but I definitely am more, if I had to pick a side, I'm obviously more of a Bravo girly because I don't really watch Big Brother consistently, and I've never watched a full episode of Survivor. So I'm going to be, just to warn all of you watching, I'm going to be coming from my truth, which is I'm a petty Bravo fan who's overly sensitive and easily offended. And I was offended by that fucking finale. So just to warn you now, I've been getting vicious comments over on TikTok. So can we try to keep it a little bit nice here in this chat, everybody? I don't want to be told I'm a whiny baby here in this chat, if we could avoid that. Okay. This was episode 10. When they flash back to Phaedra and Kate trying to figure out who to murder. I didn't realize, I don't know why I didn't catch my eye, but what they do is they have this murder document template that they just write the name in. And it just hit me that someone's got the murder doc on their G drive somewhere. And they go take it to wherever they got to take it to get it printed on the nice, fancy, old-timey paper. And there's got to be a moment where someone's like, did you not remember the template? Who has it on their G drive? I don't know why. I think that kind of stuff's funny. MJ is really thinking it's Phaedra. She's finally like, okay, I'm thinking it's Phaedra. So she's like, I'm going to go talk to Sheree and Kate about it. And she's like, you guys, you both know we need to vote out Phaedra tonight, right? Kate throws out Sandra and MJ goes, am I missing something? Kate is smarter than me, way smarter than me. So I feel like maybe the reason why I love MJ so much is because I do relate to her, because I would probably think the same thing. I've never claimed that I think I'd be good at this game by any means, and definitely could not be a traitor. I'll tell you that right the fuck now. If someone recruited me, I would give up. I'd be like, okay, fine. I guess I have to be a traitor. And then as soon as someone started questioning me, I'd be like, they figured me out. Guys, I'm out. What do they have to say? What were they saying when they were in the cabin that got them out of that told them haggis. I'm scared. But Kate really understands her assignment. I feel like she has a very strong grasp on reality television. And so she gives us this good soundbite where she said she'll do anything she can to stop this traitor hunt because Phaedra's my queen. Got to protect my queen. And I thought, wow, she's good. She gets it. She understands. Trishelle goes out to try to confront the Bravo girlies. She walks up. She's like, are you guys ready to talk logic and reason? Now, I can't tell if this was just editing or if Trishelle really said that and then just pouts and scrunches up her face saying nothing after that. Because then Kate goes, are you okay? Hold on. I need to take a sip of my venti matcha latte. Good God. I'm very tired. She's like, no, I'm actually not. You guys know who the traitor is. You keep her around and hope that maybe one of you are the lucky ones who she picks to go to the end. MJ, this is what I think is great about MJ, is she truly is trying to play the game. I really do believe her when she says she cannot go home without the money because she had to convince Tommy, like, no, it'll be good. I'll get that money. I promise I will get it. And he was like, you better get that money. And obviously, like, he won't be mad if she didn't, but like, she really went into this, like, I'm going to fucking do this right. So when Trishelle says that, she's like, there's no way in hell that I'm going to let a traitor run off and take all the money. And then they hug, and I'm sorry, she's just so fucking sweet. When she says to Trishelle, she's like, I know what it feels like to be left out. You are not outside of this. You are a part of this. You are a part of us. And that's kind of a lie, probably. Yeah. But I love MJ. I do. She's pure. She's a pure soul. The mission, this one was across the bridge. And so there were those like teetering little things that they had to hop across, which honestly, I could have watched it forever. And Alan Cummings was like, let's do this all day. Because MJ gets the shield when they're digging around, she gets the shield, but you have to get it across the bridge into the pond. And she can't do it. And she just keeps falling and falling. Kate was doing really well. Kate looked like she was totally going to get it, but then she takes it at the end. Trishelle finally figures out, not finally, but she figures out that if you go fast, she'll make it across. And I wrote, love to hate her, but she is good. And that's true. Love to hate her, but yep, okay. She's good. Fine. Watching CT go across, it actually made me wish Bananas was there because he's so hot. And he would have done amazing because Bananas can do everything. Yes, I know. I also like Bananas. I'm terrible. Here I am, like taking everything too personal and liking Bananas. I am trash. Okay. Kate, Sheree, and Phaedra are intentionally useless. They don't even try. Not at all. MJ's got to get that damn shield across. So she only has 1 minute left and she makes it. She's so proud of herself too. Okay, back at the castle, Kate pitches Sandra to MJ and CT. And Sandra notices them talking. So she like joins the convo. She's like, what are they talking about? So then Kate pivots and she tries to pitch the idea to Sandra and says, we shouldn't go for suspect number, or shouldn't we go for suspect number 2 tonight and save Phaedra for tomorrow? Sandra obviously is like, oh, okay, well, who's number 2? And Kate's like, yeah, I didn't think about that part. I was just happy to stall and not seem like we were talking about you. She bit off more than she could chew. It's hard to be a traitor. I think like the psychological fuckery of this game is no joke. Sheree pulls Phaedra, and again, Phaedra has no opinions on who could be a traitor. And Sheree is like, even Sheree can see this, see through this, Phaedra. Sheree looks at her in the eyes and asks, are you a traitor? And Phaedra goes, you said what? No, don't do that. If you're a traitor, you have to have like a strategy. In the turret, you guys should be practicing. Like someone should be like, okay, I'm going to ask, are you a traitor? And you have to be like, no, I'm a faithful. Like you have to practice. Like this show's pretty new. There's only been 2. It's on season 2 now of the Traitors UK. The Traitors Australia, so good. People were not kidding. It's a great show. I don't even think I finished it. I don't think I finished Traitors Australia, or did I? So it's still kind of a new-ish show. So they're still like working out chinks and stuff. So people coming in are going to be more and more skilled because they'll have watched other episodes, you know? Okay, at the round table for this episode, MJ and Sandra, is that right? MJ and Sandra go for Phaedra? And Sandra is actually bummed. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because I'm getting confused by episodes. Sandra's bummed because she knows that she loves Phaedra, but she also knows she's got to make this choice. And it was really sweet to see her like genuinely conflicted, if you will, but knowing that's just the right move. Phaedra, her attempt is so lame. It was so lame. I haven't really done anything that would make you write my name down if you think about it. I honestly think she gave up. When she said, I am tired, Sheree goes, if you have something else to say or to give us. No, nothing. Phaedra's like, I am exhausted. And you get tired of fighting. And I can imagine, honestly, I can imagine. But Kate, unfortunately, has been defending Phaedra so hard. And that's the other trick about the traitors is if you are a traitor, this is why traitors turn on each other. As soon as someone starts throwing a name out there, that's a traitor to a traitor. It's risky to say like, no, totally not a traitor. And then if the round table ends up, if the round table ends up banishing that person and they're like, I am a traitor, everyone's like, weren't you saying that they weren't a traitor? And you're like, no, I got confused. So you have to be, it's a lot. I don't know how these people ever sleep. It's intricate. But Kate is so annoyed because she's in this position, but she gives herself away. What are you doing? Didn't someone else do that last season? I can't remember. But so she's like, Phaedra, I voted for you because there's not a person at this table besides you that I could even stomach voting for. And in this game, you're more selfish than skillful. And it's just not fun to play games with people like that. I'm like, okay. So now everyone's going to say Kate was the other traitor. Clearly. But the real moment from this episode was when CT voted for Phaedra. And he looks at her with a look of love and adoration and respect. And it was magical. He said, I think you've been the best traitor we've seen yet. And then they share glances of love just back and forth. And the way he watches Phaedra when she gets up there and says that she's the most fabulous, faithful traitor. I love Sheree going, oh, faithful traitor. Oh, she got me. Oh, she got me. Phaedra's exit speech is time to get the hell out of Scotland and have a spa day. And she also says that these are the people she wanted to make it to the end. And at first I was like, there's no way Trishelle is one of those people. But then in the reunion, she says that Trishelle actually touched her heart and made it clear that she really does want to win. So Sandra is so on to Kate after the round table. She sits across from Kate and she's like, What was that about? What was that about? And she just stares at her, doesn't give her one look. Kate's also a smolderer too. She's always like, she kind of does like a Parvati face too. She's like, like that. MJ's oblivious, unfortunately. Because she's like, Phaedra was here for Phaedra, not for the team. And Kate's like, yeah, she was selfish. Kind of like, thank you. That's the word I threw out at the round table. So am I right? She's selfish, right? Okay, in the finale, Kate's the last remaining traitor. She's so funny. She gets to the turret and she goes, well, the first thing I want to do is redecorate, obviously. Alan loves her. When Alan walked in, he's like, Kate, this is fun. Alan has made it clear in many interviews. He's like, and then there's Kate. Just love Kate. Kate smartly eliminates Sheree. That was the move. But I love Sheree when she reads her goodbye letter, her murder letter, and she goes, I've been figuring things out. And what I figured out is that Kate is a traitor. Even Sheree has figured that out, Kate. That's how bad you were there. If Sheree is figuring shit out, that's a problem. Sandra, CT, and Trishelle are also totally onto Kate, but I liked Trishelle's strategy of, I believed that she was listening to Kate and MJ, thinking it was Sandra, because she like throws Sandra out there, and I'm like, oh, wow, okay. In my head, I couldn't decide. I'm like, do I want Kate to win? I kind of didn't want Kate to win because I don't like when a late traitor recruit is in that boat. It's like what Suri did last season when Ari was there and she's like, you don't get to have this money with me. Okay, bye-bye. Who's also fucking brilliant. Suri played the best game of all. She's the template. If you want to figure out how to be a traitor, watch Suri, because flawless game. It's kind of why it's kind of boring, because it was like too flawless, but like she nailed it. She absolutely nailed it. They take a helicopter to the final mission. MJ is having the time of her life, but then they got to do the final mission. Kate's like, I fucking know what's about. I had to do this damn final mission last time too. They've got to make it to a ship from point A to the ship. And then there's detours along the way that they can get flags that have dollar amounts on them. And then they get to the ship at the end, they raise them up. And they had 40 minutes to do it or 60 minutes to do it. They barely got this shit together. Barely got it together. CT had to do everything. I didn't get why Trishelle and Sandra just didn't go on the detour. They're like, we'll waste time if all of us do it. And I was like, I don't know if that's true. Because I don't know if that's true. Maybe. Whatever. CT and Kate, though, so they win. They like, woo. CT and Kate riding back together, and he asks Kate point blank, are you a traitor? She does an excellent job of convincing him. Excellent. It is one thing to lie a little bit about something, but when someone asks you point blank about the one thing that you were the most nervous about, that is not easy to pull it together. It is not easy to pull that shit together. Okay. So CT then goes and tells Sandra that Kate brought her name up, but then Kate spins it when Sandra says something to her like, oh, CT said, and she says that CT is the one who shopped her name. And then that makes Sandra immediately go on the CT train. And I'm obsessed with Kate's commentary because she's like, am I really doing this? I can convince them that Alan is the final traitor and they'll believe she understands what's happening. At the round table, CT and Trishelle ask Kate to explain her behavior with Phaedra, and they all buy this. Kate's like, well, I thought Phaedra was a traitor, but I defended her because I thought it didn't matter what order we would banish them in. And they're like, that works. We're done asking questions here, because then MJ goes on to the Sandra train. And so I was so sad watching. I know Sandra wanted to be a traitor so bad, but she wasn't. She was a faithful, and she was a damn good one. Well, I mean, she had some flaws, but still. I just felt so bad. I'm so sad to see her getting banished. She's like, no, don't do this to me. I did not. I don't deserve this. I felt so bad for her. This game gets harder and harder and harder towards the end, because it is the faithful's jobs to get rid of the traitors. But then when they start to eliminate, when the traitors start to throw other people under the bus who are it's I'm too sensitive for this game, I think. Period. End of story. But I love it. Don't take it away from me. Okay. Then this makes Trishelle, they all vote Sandra. This makes Trishelle super sus of CT because he went against the Kate plan. Trishelle is she's a good gamer. She figured out, like, I better just vote with the majority here on this final vote, because she was doing the math in her head. Like, she's done these games before. This is where it's clear MJ has not, because Trishelle was already thinking about the final, the fire pit, where someone could throw their red smoke bomb thing and say she's a traitor because you didn't vote for Sandra, who was a faithful, and only a traitor would know who, whatever. Like, so she was thinking ahead. MJ really genuinely was not aware of those possibilities. She never thought for a second that CT and Trishelle, which is on her, you know, she wasn't nurturing those relationships. She was going in just those people. But as Dan has said, this game moves so fast. So, like on Big Brother, you've got a full week to politic and social game and whatnot. And this is just like the next day. It's like day after day after day after day. So you're moving really quick. So then the fire pit happens. They get out Kate. Fabulous. Then those bitches, told you, I'm bitter. Those bitches choose to banish again. MJ's face during all of this, when first Alan throws MJ's thing and it's green, and she's like, if loving these guys is wrong, I don't want to be right. I love her so much. And then Alan throws Trishelle's and it's red, and MJ's like, oh, what? And then throws CT's and it's red, and she's like, what? Red? No. Her reactions were so pure and so sweet. And when CT flips over, MJ, I voted for you. I was like, I swear to fucking God, if Trishelle has MJ on there, I will riot. And so then Trishelle has CT, and he's like, what? And MJ watching the two of them go back and forth. Like, so then there's a draw because they all voted for one person. This is, I think that the producers on this show hadn't quite figured out what to do in these cases, because having them just vote again is kind of weird. I feel like there should be an option to be like, now that we've pled the cases, we don't need to vote out again or something like that. But Trishelle's saying, like, I didn't want to vote CT again because it would have been a draw again. I'm like, well, I would have liked to see what happens. Like, just keep doing a draw. I kind of want to see, because it's someone's job to figure out what to do in these circumstances, you know, and maybe they hadn't crossed that bridge yet. When you're putting stuff together like this, you're like, oh shit, what should we do? So they might change some stuff up after seeing these options. But when Trishelle voted for MJ, so CT goes, MJ again. Sorry, it's MJ again. And then Trishelle flipped over MJ. I almost cried. I could not believe it. I was so just gutted by that. I thought it was a dirty move. Like I said, I'm easily offended. I know that it's a game. I don't care. This is my truth. I was like, she's so obviously a fucking faithful, you assholes. You just wanted to split the money. That sucks. Ugh. But yeah, they played a very good game, both of them, CT and Trishelle. They did. They played a great game. Trishelle, loved, as much as I love to hate her, she did play a good game, I guess. Whatever. I don't care. I want to go see what you guys have to say about this. Let me see what you guys are saying. Wanted CT to win in some form, but not Trishelle. I think that's what everyone is saying. I think everyone is like, damn it, did it have to be Trishelle? Frantic Trishelle, Sweetgrass and Juniper said. She is so frantic. Phaedra just nailed everybody. She didn't need the money. No need to throw the other players. Loved Phaedra. Great PR for her. Good point. Great point. Rita, Bravo peeps took it super personal. We did. as embarrassing as that is. Susan, they were dirty challenge players. They were. They were. Okay, I'm loving this chat because you guys are indulging my pettiness. I hope they never win another challenge. I'm dying. Okay, I'm actually happy that this is the feedback I'm getting so far. Because, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, the reunion, uh, Max was the only one not in attendance. They watched the finale live. And Larsa's the one actually, when they finished watching, she goes, okay, I see the difference between the gamers and reality TV, like personalities or whatever they are, because the gamers are going to do anything to win. John, this guy, John looked like he's on a couple hours of sleep. He looked either jet lagged or hungover or something. His hair he just looked messy. And he's like, I understand MJ being upset, but does she have any right to be aggrieved? No. Fuck you, John. Shut up, John. Okay. With Mr. Politics over there. When all of them come out and CT sits down, Bananas goes, we're going to need a bigger couch. CT's gained even more weight since they wrapped. Seeing CT, I'm sorry, I'm going to drag CT for a little bit, even though we've been loving CT so much. But what the hell, sir? Put on an outfit, put on a suit, put on something. What did he show up in? It's like he was going to run errands. His outfit was so whatever. I'm sure he doesn't have clothes that fit. I'm sure that's part of it. But go buy something, dude. You're on TV. He just looked real sweaty and bloated and uncomfortable. That's right. I said that. But then what the fuck was Trishelle wearing? I don't get it. I don't get what that was. It looked painful and it just looked like two different pieces. Again, it looked like, I say again because I called Dorit's reunion look. It looked like that one fabric challenge that they do on Project Runway. Hers, Trishelle's, looked like something on Project Runway when like someone's doing something and Tim Gunn comes in and he's like, it's a little simple. And then they're like, okay, I'll add something. And then they add this totally disconnected piece. That's what Trishelle's looked like. It just was baffling. Her style is actually fucking baffling. Okay. Even her outfit for for honestly every outfit. The gloves, she had these gloves on. Like I understand fashion gloves, but they had the cuff, like they were like fur, like shearling lined or whatever it's called, like fleece lined or something. She was wearing those at the round table. So it's like, you forgot to take your gloves off, Trishelle. Those aren't indoor gloves. Okay, we've seen gloves. We know how the fashion gloves work. Those are not fashion gloves. Okay, Trishelle, as I sit here in a sweatshirt. Okay, fashion, I know it clearly. Okay. Okay, Andy asks MJ how she feels, and I was happy to know that she was going to be bringing in some angry energy towards them because that's how I was feeling. And she says bamboozled, like grifter energy. And I'm like, good, yeah, let's be petty. Let's be petty. MJ was so pissed off that like the whole entire room was like MJ, and I'm like, you guys shut the fuck up. She was there, okay. MJ's like, I was shocked to see the red smoke because we all knew we were faithfuls. And Trishelle goes, I didn't. I thought CT was a traitor. And MJ goes, then you should have followed through with that. And then Trishelle's like, well, then we would have been at a stalemate for the second time. Well, let's see what happens then. And this is the problem. You have to, people who win on these gamer shows, they are the most ruthless and cutthroat. Like, look at Bananas. I like Bananas, and he literally stole money from Sarah. Clearly, I'll get over it. Okay, clearly. MJ just happens to be someone who I personally think is just a kind soul. So I'm also even more bothered by that, you know? Okay. Sorry, my dad has decided now's a good time to unload the dishwasher, and now I'm just so distracted because I have ADD and I can't focus on one thing at a time. What? CT tries to give a speech about how the non-gamers played well, and MJ, you played an amazing game. And MJ goes, then you should have finished it the right way. I know we love CT. I get it. I know CT, everyone loves him. But CT, I've said it before, he's pretty toxic. And so when he's like, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm just trying to show you love here. Well, listen to her. She's got feelings. It's like when he did that shit with Trishelle, and well, he didn't do anything, by the way. But Trishelle was upset that he didn't light her torch. And he like reluctantly talked to Trishelle. He walked in and he saw them talking and he was like, oh, I'll leave you guys alone. And they were like, no, she wants to talk to you. And he's like, okay, I'll talk to you. Yeah, no, I was going to talk to you. CT is actually an ultimate gamer too. He doesn't have any loyalty. CT never has. Like if you are a real challenge person, you will watch and see that he'll throw anybody under the bus in his heyday. Phaedra explains the connection she had with CT. Andy brings it up. Apparently, I think maybe they arrived together in the car, like the cars they take to get to the castle in the beginning. It kept breaking down. So Phaedra thought he was the mechanic. Isn't that incredible? She called Johnny Bananas the repo man, and she thought CT was the mechanic. I don't know why I find it so funny that Phaedra, this glamorous, gorgeous black woman, is just calling all the white guys like the repo man, the mechanic. I love it. I can't tell if they've had a fling going on or something, because the way they answered, were there sparks between you two? The way they answered was kind of tough to read. I was like, is there? Did you guys? But I think Pia and I discussed this offline. I just don't think it could work in real life. He's such a Boston boy and she's just not. And I just can't imagine like their families mixing. They do have kids though. And hey, it could happen. But after seeing CT not all dressed up for the reunion, I was like, especially sitting next to Phaedra, who's in a gown, wearing fashion gloves, by the way. That's how you do it, Trishelle. Okay. I was like, yeah, this wouldn't work. This wouldn't work at all, actually. Ekin-Su and Peter actually have a thing now. And I mean, I couldn't care less, okay? When they were being all coy. And the way Ekin-Su's like, this isn't Love Island, guys. Shut up, Ekin-Su. That's the only interesting thing you've had going on. Go with it. I don't like Ekin-Su. I don't like literally anything about Ekin-Su. I don't like the way she talks. I don't like anything about her. She bugs me for some reason. Bananas is, okay, so you know how they're going to say, like, I think there's a difference between gamers or whatever. Bananas, Mr. Challenge winner, he's probably why I like him. He's so fucking bitter about being the first one out. He's like, yeah, I'm used to playing with people who like to play, not people who lack the self-esteem and the ego to go head to head with people. Dan's a little fucking pussy. Dan admitted to Andy he was nervous going into this reunion. But his personality or his persona he was trying to have on those couches is like, hey man, I'm just Dan, hey, it's just gameplay, right? And everyone's like, you were terrible at this. What about this mistake? He's like, yeah, in hindsight, it wasn't the best move, but honestly, I wouldn't change it. Dan, admit you fucking failed. I need you to admit you were a crash and burn, terrible fail. Okay? Admit it. You thought you could take down Phaedra because she was an easy target. Your big claim that you were so scared of Phaedra. Please, Dan, save it. Wow, I am bitter today. What the hell? I got to calm down a little bit. Dan goes, Bananas had his best friend in the game. I'm sorry. No. They're opposite of that. The fact that they were even kind of getting along is surprising. They are mortal enemies. Speaking of grudges and taking shit personal, Dan turns around and goes, I hope you saw that as a sign of respect more than anything else. And Bananas goes, I didn't. Little petty Bananas. He's bitter over there. Which, I can't tell if he's kidding. I don't think he's kidding. A little petty asshole. Peppermint gets a good chance to say how hard it was to be the first one banished and explains that for the first one, there's not a lot of evidence, not a lot of proof to go off of. So you resort to these biases that you bring in to the game. And people like me don't fare well in situations like that. So I just blame Trishelle for this completely because she heard Trishelle. Wait, let's actually back up. Remember when Trishelle tried to claim she brought a bunch of fashion? And when Peppermint was like, me too. And Trishelle was like, if I murder tonight, you know why. You really think, especially in the outfit you were wearing when you said it, you really think Peppermint was worried about your fashion upstaging her? Trishelle, we've seen the fashion now. That's what you were proud of? God, Emily, I didn't. Ooh. I think it's because I'm a little bit tired, so I need to relax. I guess it's good TV, right? Good TV makes you passionate. But Peppermint gets a chance to say, like, all of the anti-trans legislation in this moment is bigger than just me coming to play the game. And I thought this was interesting. Most people don't know someone who's trans in their real personal lives, so they actually learn how to interact with us based on watching people on TV. And I thought, oh, that's a good point. That's what representation does matter. So she said, so I was heartbroken that I wasn't able to see that through. And Andy goes, well, in your way, I think you did. Andy, no, maybe here, but no, that was fucked up. Fucked up. She was first gone. Peter presents Phaedra with a rose. They watch the like package on Phaedra, and he says, you don't need to kiss my ass, but would you accept this rose? And we find out that actually Phaedra is a Bachelor Nation girly. So she even went up to him at the beginning and was like, oh my God, I'm such a huge fan. So interesting that they played the game the way they did, almost like enemies. But very sweet that he did the, will you accept this rose? Because if you are a Bachelor Nation girly, that must be so fun to get that from him. I love that. Tamara talks about being the first housewife eliminated, and did it piss you off that you were murdered by another housewife? And she's like, oh yeah, I was pissed for sure. And Phaedra goes, no, I didn't. It's not that I didn't like her or anything. It's just that, she was actually telling people I'm so smart. Phaedra's so smart. Tamara's like, I did suspect you. That's why. And I'm sorry, that contradicts what you said on your own podcast. You said when you had Janelle on, when you had Janelle on, you kept saying neither of you thought of Phaedra at all. But now she's like, I was thinking about you. But then Tamara goes, I have the hiccups. Tamara said, it was hard to vote for you because you prey on everybody. My captions, like my subtitles, said prey like Prey. And I was like, oh no, are you about to pick this fight? No, it turns out she meant literally pray, like bless this person, God. I was like, oh, very different, and also incredible tactic. If Vader did that tactically, chef's kiss, okay? They all choose Peter as the biggest surpriser who's a non-gamer, and that's true. He presents something very interesting. He says that if Phaedra would have given him the traitor ultimatum and not Kate, Phaedra could have won the game, because the fact that he thought this through is like, he's good at strategy. She could have the very next day thrown him under the bus, got them to banish a traitor, Peter, and earned all this trust and just slid to the end for sure. I mean, who knows for sure. Trishelle might have stayed on to him. Trishelle, yeah, maybe that wouldn't have worked actually. Because I think Trishelle would have figured out that Phaedra recruited him and did that. Trishelle would have figured that out, actually. So I take that back. Dan talks about his strategy with Phaedra, and it's kind of exactly what I said. He's like, I just thought, I hadn't said a lot in the game. And so it's kind of like when the quiet kid speaks up, you listen. Again, it's exactly what I said when I made some content about it. You overestimated how much people respect you. You thought that when Dan starts to speak, they'll all be like, oh my God. But that was and everyone's like, that was stupid. Just admit you were dumb. Okay. Sandra does say no one was even thinking about Phaedra until you said it, which is shitty, right? It was a shitty, stupid Hail Mary to do it that way. And you still got banished, and then you just left Phaedra in a fucked up position. Phaedra calls him a low-down son of a bitch and a piece of shit. And he's so offended by that. He's like, oh my God. So then Dan keeps on this thing. I play these games, and to me, they're games. In Big Brother, I would take a huge shot, and they always hit. This is the first time it didn't hit. Yeah, how long ago were you on Big Brother, dude? And like, it's different when you stay in the same show, say in the same like realm, you know. Then he goes how into like being a gamer, you don't take it personal. And Phaedra's like, shut the fuck up. You wanted me out of the game. He's trash. He's trash, she says. I like it. Dan is like in denial. He's like, my strategy was good. And they're like, the Bergie murder, when you knew he potentially could have had a shield and you murdered him anyway? No, dude, you played a horrible game. I don't know. I liked it. Dan was annoying. So annoying. MJ, she will not stand for anything that comes out of Trishelle and CT's mouths. Nothing. She blocked both of them. I support it. I support it. You're not going to be MJ's friend after that, okay? Not for a little while. You can come groveling, but CT also doesn't give a shit. Trishelle might, because Trishelle likes Bravo. We find that out that Trishelle was super excited to see all the Bravo girlies, especially Phaedra. Respect on that. But CT's like, I don't fucking care. Like, CT genuinely doesn't give a shit about people. I know people want to say that he's like the sweetest guy. He cares enough, but like at the end of the day, he's like, I got my own shit to deal with. John and Janelle, John pipes in, he's like, it's a game. Ugh. Shut up, John. Janelle's like, we don't take shit personal. Janelle doesn't. That I will give her. Janelle plays a savage game and she doesn't take it personal. But like, that's Janelle as a player, right? And that's maybe why I don't connect with Big Brother and Survivor a ton, because the cast changes every season, except for when they bring back like other people and you're like, oh, I remember them from that season. I think Janelle on Big Brother is my favorite player. Donnie from I Am the Cute One got me into the seasons that were good Janelle seasons. And so I've only really watched a few seasons and they were mainly Janelle seasons. So I do like her as a player, but she is a ruthless, savage, backstabbing player that will do anything to win. Which if these are the only things you do, if you only go on gaming shows, I guess that is your strategy. You're not there to just be a personality, which is the shows I'm used to watching. I'm used to watching Bravo shows where them just existing is the bit. You know, there's no game. It's like Jax had the hardest time on House of Villains. Jax had the hardest time. He's like, we don't do this. We don't play games. We don't get like eliminated. Like, what is this shit? We just chill. Yeah, it's very different. Very, very different. Andy's like, MJ, why didn't you vote for CT the second time? Because then you would have gotten, and she goes, because it wasn't about the money for me. It was about loyalty. She's Persian, okay? She's like, I'm mad about it. I got to stop saying it. I'm repeating myself. CT's like, look, I'm just numb to this stuff. You know, it's MJ's first competition show. And Dan's like, yes, to piggyback on that one more time, Phaedra, are you really mad at me? And she's like, yeah. Phaedra's not going to let it go either. Right? Yeah, I am. Yeah, pissed. Don't like him. And this is where Andy called out the cultural differences. And some of them are like, yeah, we don't hold grudges. We don't take it personal. Shut up. Banana's over there. He's still pissed about getting eliminated first. Okay. So I don't want to hear it. There was a bunch of stuff in the reunion that I didn't include just because I was like, yeah, it's just cute stuff. But if there's anything I missed, please remind me. Janelle's biggest enemy on BB is now her best friend in real life. Wait, who was her biggest enemy? Remind me, Elle Michelle, if you don't mind. Trishelle even said she hadn't thought about Phaedra until Dan put her down. That's fucked up, right? That's fucked up. That's not cool. Dan went after Phaedra because he thought she was smarter than her. Did he? I don't know. I feel like he thought because she wasn't he claims that now. I think he thought because she wasn't a gamer, he could just throw her under the bus and they'd be like, oh my God, no one was thinking about Phaedra. Wow, Dan's really smart. He can see even the like wild cards one. Because everyone obviously was like Dan and Parvati. Like they look like the Traitors. Duh. Dan, this is not Big Brother. Ah, funny. Let's see what you guys saying over here on the Instagrams. Ooh, whoa, lots of stuff. Hi, everyone here. I don't like Trishelle, but being that she lives in NOLA, if she can help bring back SC NOLA, I'm all ears. Honestly, guys, if you have not seen Southern Charm New Orleans, do yourself a favor. I think it's 2 seasons. Yeah, 2, right? Or 3. No, just 2. I can't remember, but it's so good. It's an amazing cast, and we've been petitioning and begging for them to bring it back, but they won't. They won't. They're jerks. We have seen, though, that Reagan and Tamika were filming something. So they're going to come back in some capacity. I'm just not sure what it is. I hope it's not a Housewives. I really liked the whole cast, even the men. I liked the whole dynamic. Okay, let's see. LOL, Dan said his comments have been in shambles from Bravo fans for weeks. Interesting. Oh, because of Phaedra. Good. Good. You know, this actually validates my feelings, though, because covering Bravo is very tricky because the fandom is so passionate. And that actually confirms it because Dan does Big Brother and he's like, I've never seen anything like it until the Bravo fans came for me. Okay. MJ had every right to be mad, in my opinion. I think every single one of them would have been mad if they were faithful and made it to that far and got voted out. Yeah, totally. It was a dirty move. I get that they would have been mad, but like MJ takes it to a dramatic place. But that's also like part of why that's what makes the Bravo and like reality TV personality people different, right? Because they just have that personality as opposed to just like being here to win. Oh my God, Butterfly. I didn't even know there was one in NOLA. You would love it. Love it. Well, I think, I don't know, but it's very, very good. Just as a cast. You have to watch both seasons though, because the journey that Tamika takes from season 1 to season 2, iconic, amazing growth. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's see. Bo was Janelle's mortal enemy. Now, I don't even remember who Bo was. See, that's the problem. I'm not a big enough Big Brother girly to like speak on it. I probably shouldn't do that. Excuse me. I love all this Dan hate. CT and Trashelle. Thank you, El Michelle, for spelling it like that. They're not going to apologize because everything they did led them to winning. That's the thing is they won't apologize. That's why it sucks for MJ. They're never going to apologize because they won. And that is the whole point of the game. And that is why being a gamer, the cultural difference is that maybe you don't take it so personal. As for MJ thought it was so personal. And I do too, because I'm also overly sensitive and dramatic. Okay. That's me. Let's see. Trishelle didn't even apologize. Yeah, she won't. I loved Peppermint's speech and I was devastated when she went home early. Totally. That was so sad. I wanted to see Peppermint's fashions. I didn't want to see Trishelle's. The fact that Trishelle said she brought outfits and fashion. Is that not funny? Like in hindsight? Because I don't think I ever noticed Trishelle's fashion before because on the challenge, like, first of all, it was a long time ago on the challenge, but they're in, workout stuff. They're not fashioning. The fact that Trishelle was like, oh, I brought fashion. And then we've seen the hats and the gloves and the all around craziness. I should do a whole montage or compilation or whatever of her fashion or like a collage because she brought something. That's for sure. She brought something in those things. Okay. We've got a couple minutos left. If you guys have any cues for me that you want me to answer, FYI, tomorrow going live again, 9 a.m. with Kendrick for the weekly wrap up. And it is another packed. I swear I took the worst week off. Like, what the fuck? So many things happened. So I've got a lot to cover on that too. So I'll be covering the Leah, Andy lawsuits. Let's see, what else do I have on my agenda? Let's see what I have here, just so that you guys know. Oh, there's a Scottie Pippen lawsuit. That one looked good. Renee Graziano, a little Mob Wives. Renee Graziano came out and talked about a nearly fatal overdose she had last year. I went into detail, FYI, about the lawsuit that Rachel filed against Tom and Ariana. I went into detail. I read the whole filing on my last Vanderpump Rules recap from this week. So go check that out. There are timestamps on that too. So if you just want to skip to that, that's there. Okay, let's see. El Michelle, we did not discuss Drag Race. I'm going to do next week. I'm going to cover all the Drag Race that I've missed along with the next episode. And I think I am. Tell me if you guys like this or not. I think I'm going to hate recap Jersey Shore Family Vacation. And I say hate recap because I think it's just genuinely a terrible show. It's just terrible. But there, I whatever. I'm thinking of doing that. I'm thinking of doing that on Saturdays. Who do you think should be on next season? The fun thing about Traitors is if there's an endless list of people, endless list of fucking people. So of all the challenge people, I'd like to see some real old school challenge people come back just because I'm curious. Because that's also part of it. It's like you haven't seen them in a long time. So it's like, what are they going to do? So some old vintage challenge people would be fun. In terms of Bravo, I kind of want to see like Craig and Paige. I would think like a Southern Charm Summer House would be fun. And then I know there's such a huge cast of people. Kendrick and I will probably talk about this tomorrow. We'll probably get into this. We can't help it. Tiffany Pollard, what the hell? Why is Tiffany Pollard not there? Tiffany Pollard should be on every reality show ever done in my entire life. I don't know. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. Oh, Bobby Lights, because he was on, although my friend Curtis said he's pretty problematic, actually, which I think is kind of obvious. Okay, hold on. Let me see what else I got here. So those are the people that came to my head for now, but like, I'll go into more detail on that because Kendrick and I have a lot of fun putting that together. Okay, let's see. Thoughts on Anisha from Family Karma being a comedian now? I think she's been doing that for a minute. I thought so. I thought she'd been doing that for a little bit. I mean, it makes sense. If that brings her joy, good for her. Good for her. Any The Villain season 2 T? I don't know. Is there? Oh, I think I saw a potential list. Actually, that was from Donnie. Hold on. Let me look at my text message from the Donnie. And he said the rumored cast is Tiffany. This is for what? Oh, this is for villains. This was for villains. Okay, yeah, that's what it was for doing. Okay. Rumored cast, not sure if it's real, was Tiffany Pollard again, respect. Wes from The Challenge, Candy Muse, Richard from Survivor, Larissa. I don't know who this is. Camellia from Bad Girls Club, Jesse from Big Brother, Safari from Love and Hip Hop, Teresa from Real Housewives, and Larsa. So Larsa makes all the sense. Teresa, I'm interested to see how she fares on a villain show because I know this is a hot take, but I don't know if Teresa like views herself as a villain. When it comes to Jersey, that's tricky. So I'm interested to see what she actually does that's villainous outside of Jersey. Wes totally makes sense. Wes, fuck yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. Wes makes sense. But I don't know if this is confirmed. Those were just that was what I got. That was my tea for the villain season 2. Okay, let's see. Less gamers. We're going to want the challenge people eliminated early. Yes, we are, Susan. Any challenge people, you're out of here. Okay. I just had an image in my head of Vicky in the castle melting down. No, I actually think Vicky Gunvalson would be fun to see in that environment because she would just be a mess, an absolute mess. Okay. All women and drag queens on Traitors. Do you have the new Bravo lineup? What does that mean? What's the new Bravo lineup? They're going to make her shake the table. They are. They're going to be like, flip a table, Teresa. Oh, the Real Housewives of New Jersey trailer. I was shocked by how piqued my interest was. I cannot in any way believe I'm saying that. But because there's a huge dynamic shift, because Jackie is going to be with Teresa and what's the other one's name? Messler. What's her name? Jennifer Messler. She's going to flip too, and she's going over to the Teresa side. So I'm interested to see actually how that changes. Anytime there's a big group shift dynamic, I'm all about it, especially when Marge is the one who's seemingly losing. I enjoy that a lot. Oh, the challenge all-stars. I forgot that that's coming up. Fessler, thank you. When does that start, Max? When does the challenge all-stars start? Because I could add that to my week. That could be what I cover on the weekend recap, I think. That's a good point. So maybe I'll do that one instead. The challenge all-stars. Whenever that premieres. Oh, April. Oh, okay. That's coming up somewhat soon. So I got a minute still. So maybe I still will do Jersey Shore. But yes, I will absolutely be covering challenge all-stars because Victoria is back. That's her name, right? Why did that just sound weird coming out of my mouth? Yeah, Victoria. They're all back. So it's going to be some good dramas. Since Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is over, what will you recap next? I am still kind of figuring out what I want to do. If I cover Summer House, it will be over on the Patreon only because I absolutely hated covering Summer House. I cried. I cried multiple different times. A couple of friends even made me cry because they didn't like my takes. And honestly, at this point, I'm still kind of bitter about Summer House just because what it put me through last year. So if I do Summer House, I'll cover it on the Patreon. But I am not 100% sure. I got to look and see what else is coming up. I've been in the weeds this week, to be honest. I've been up till like 2 a.m. watching shows. Yes. Okay. Guys, you're putting me on the spot. I forgot about Summer. I don't have my calendar in front of me. Okay. Yes. Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. Okay. I'm going to end this live stream because I'm getting stressed out. Okay. Love you guys. Mean it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.